In this video, we're going to create a beautiful compositing by utilizing a multiple technology, relatively new AI generative art, but also using Photoshop for object isolations, which is make work much easier and faster. As well, I'll show you some tips and tricks how you can implement a very nice selections and overlay with this image. Example, if we look right here on your head on top, you can see we have it feathering, and we have it multiple ways we can select this before, but let's see how it's work with AI, and as well I will show you how we can improve if selection is not good. And we're starting first by going inside our camera raw, and you notice this was shot on I think Canon D5, I think Mark II if I'm right. It was some time. And it was shot on dark gray background because I want this kind of bold rococo or barocco, sorry, kind of this look, rich one. So it's what we're going to use it. For adjustment, we are right now on camera raw because it was shot in raw image. And I'm going to take, you'll see highlights down. Majority, we need it for this to recover some of those highlights on the faces. If we look closer, you can see how the highlights are normal. We kind of lost this information and we can see in our graph. So if we bring down to the level where we can see very easy textures in everything. So it's one level we want it. And we'll take also shadows and bring them just a little bit up. So this image is look a little bit flat, but we are recovering necessary information that is actually there in the image because it's shot in a raw, but we're compressing to 8 bits so we can process on our computers. Okay, next after this we're going down and we're going to adjust some of our sharpness. We'll bring to about 70-60, and I also want to go in color mix it, specifically in luminosity for our colors, and just slightly bring orange back to restore a little bit depth of the skin. We're working in three-dimensional image in two-dimensional space, and because of this luminosity, it's what gives it us perspective of the shapes between shadows and highlights. Well, when we're done, let's go ahead, click open, and this is open image for us inside the Photoshop. So what I want to do here, it is remove some of these elements, and also probably scale to the way it's work for me. So I'm going to just select, let's go select lasso tool. Here we have a generative field and we'll click generate. So it will just take very easy and figure out AI how to replace. If you don't have a generative AI, you can use a stamp or clone tool. Okay, next we're going to select whole image, and as I'm adjusting image, I'm watching positioning. See, like right, for example, in this case, I want to be her on the middle, and as well just maybe pitch up, just like this. Okay, we'll go generative expand and click generate. Well, we'll look what is if it will adjust properly all edges, because if you notice, I did it when I select my generative field, the layer. Notice with new options, it's actually analyze all of them and work very well to extend it. So in this case, it's look very proper to me and correct. So let's go ahead next. I want to create Control-Shift-Alt-E or combine all layers in one. And let's call it model. Next, I want to actually isolate. So for this, we'll just go and click select the subject. As we're doing, AI will go connect and try to isolate. Let's look closer what we have. You'll notice right there, we don't have it select all of the feathers. We could done this additional by refine, or we can select, just take our select tool and you can go and select manually by this. And I probably will recommend you to do this for the main things, like, you know, this stuff right here, but don't worry about some of the smaller that we think we may lose, because we're going to recover them with applying special overlay. Okay, well, and this is kind of looking okay-ish, but what is happening in this image? It's nice model, everything, but we missing story. And in this case, background will give it a story. And I have a very nice background. They are generated by using AI generative tool, but I process them after, touch up, run to upscale and everything perfectly so they work for this. So that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to use some of those tools to replace the background. First, for this image, let's go ahead and click mask. And what we've done here, we actually mask out the model. Our background will going below our model and kind of integrating to this thing. So let me show you what we have. We have multiple different backgrounds, and I'll just drag and drop a few of them to show. So one is like this. And the backgrounds, they develop in square, so it's very easy to use on the different areas. And we have the different type of the backgrounds. We have the backgrounds with just like drapes almost casting. Okay, so we have it like this, and don't worry, you want to stretch all the way. If it feels like cutting under her feet, because right there, see, she almost floating, that is okay, because we're going to fix this later we applied. Well, if you don't like, for example, these backgrounds, you always can go with a classic landscape like English landscape. For example, right here, you can see we have a nice, beautiful English landscape like a painting. They're all very high resolution 4K images, so it should be more than enough for resolution for the backdrop. And we can select which kind of look better this way. So what do you think? Do you think should we go with this or landscape? I think let's go with landscape. Just try, see the different. And we also have these bright backgrounds, so we can work with this. Well, as we are applying, if our background is darker color, we probably want to switch this to two modes, or multiplied or a screen, and we'll see how both or soft light, how they work. So this is our soft light, and this is what I like. See how it's muted? It's actually very nicely on the background. It does not distract us from seeing the model there. And of course, we can switch this to multiplied, which make even more darker, like almost disappear, but it's still our model stand out. I think I like it. Soft light work better for this. And again, if you have a little bit brighter background, soft light kind of work better. If you have a darker, like for example, this kind of, then it will be work better if we're using multiplied on this, because you can see it's kind of add this richness to this. Well, we're going with our soft light, this image. Next, even we apply all blending to this, we want to blend bottom feet right here a little bit better, and maybe something around. So let's see how we have. Remember, we have a problem with the feathers here, but because these feathers, we're using soft light, we restore some of those elements. So you can see some on the background coming up, which is work very well in our case. Well, let's try a couple things. Let's go select one, and we'll go soft light, decreasing like about halfway. That does look very nice, muted as well. Let's increase just like slightly. I think this is maybe too much contrast. If we just blend it, I think this way it's look a little bit nicer. Okay, next I'm going to create a mask on this. We'll take our brush, one soft round, and we want to be about 10%. Let's go on a black color. In some cases, you want maybe even going lower. If you have it Vicom pen, then you can also control this. Okay, let's go right here. And I think I said 100 accidentally, so let me go back to 6. And what I'm doing is kind of painting back our background right there. So you can see a little bit help us to restore it. And this is our original, remember? This is our original kind of looking. So in some cases, it's work very well. Okay. The putting background, it was so simple and easy with these background sets. You almost don't need to do anything. Only next you need just retouch model, and I will show you how we're going to do. So we have the model here with our masking. First, what I want to do is create one layer, and we're going to link or clip this layer to our parent, which is at the bottom of this. Next, we're going to select tool, and we have a few tools we can use it in this case. One, we can have generative fill, and generative is work very well if you have a large element. But if you have it smaller, the spot healing will work, or remove tools will work very well. I'll show you example. Right here we have it, and see how thick it's gone. So it's very easy. Usually I don't even touch some of those freckles or other things, and because it's what person is. Normally I'm just looking for any blemishes, maybe like something right here. See, for example, we have this wrinkle. I just don't want that wrinkle there. So same, we have a little bit more wrinkles right here, and we'll just go remove some of those wrinkles, because wrinkles that look kind of kick out and says, hey, it's just dress up. So we'll just remove some of those wrinkles here, like this. There you go. It's look better. We also will smooth these wrinkles in our special smoothing step when we're going to do. Okay. Next, let's do actually this smoothing step. So for this, we press Ctrl Shift Alt E, Command Option Alt E on a Mac. We go select all image, and let's go call it smooth. Again, we're going to clip this. And as we're clipping, next we'll go to Filter, Noise, Dust and Scratches, and a level I want it so I can see the eye. I cannot see eye very good. I'm going to lower, maybe about 9. Now I can see eye, and we'll go click OK. Well, I don't want to apply to everything. I just want to apply to skin and other. For this, we'll hold Alt or Options, and we'll click on Creating Mask. This way, we're creating mask and hiding everything because it's in black. So now by using our brush, again, we'll want to very smooth, soft and white color. We can start brushing in the layer. What it does, it's kind of reduce some of this texture, because with digital camera and too sharp elements, it is creating this like noise overlay, which is not bad if everything in same noise, but on a face, it does not look, it's look too realistic to photographers. So what we're doing, we try to fake this by make it smooth, removing some of the texturing, creating almost like painting a look. So let's look before and after. You can see it's almost like blur out, but it is a little bit more interesting. Okay, I'll set 10% on this. Opacity on the brush, and going, see how it's smoothing out. Work very well on a skin. Also work if you have it like fake flowers, will work very well there. And you remember, says we have a problem here. We'll just little bit smooth out small wrinkles, the one that we not yet touch up, but they will work very well. Okay, I think smoothing is well. Now let's go work a little bit on a hair, and if you have it fur as well, it's Ctrl Shift Alt E, Command Option Alt E again. So we'll call this layer hair, and again Alt or Option and clip it to our parent. Next we're going Filter, Stylize, and we're going Stylize to the oil painting. So in oil painting, we'll have a 10 cleanest scale. And I want to be sure our lights set about same directions around here. That should work. Let's go ahead, click OK. And because it's a smaller image, I want to increase sharpness. If it was close-up portraits, we don't need this. But for because how small it is, we want to increase sharpness. And I'm just pop up a little bit sharpness, like 180 maybe even. Next, let's look closer what we so far. And you can see it's look kind of funny, but it's okay because all what we need to do this it for the some feathers and hair. So again, Alt Options, click and create a mask which is hiding. We'll select brush, reduce size 10%. Oops. Look, I did on a face. It's why we need Command Control Z. Yes, I need to do this on a hair. There you go. There's a way coming look better. Same, we can do a little bit on a feathering. We don't need to worry too much, but just a little bit creating this paint look on this. Okay, next we're going to create a new layer, and it will be our dodge and burn for the just the model itself. And we're going to fill up with 50% gray and clip it. As we're clipping, you can see where is that applied. Let's next switch this to the soft light. Soft light is contrast-based blending mode, so the 50% gray become invisible, but it will be curved up when we have it highlights or shadows. And we'll take our brush, again very soft. We'll start with highlights right here, white color, and I'm just going to add highlight on her nose a little bit, right there. Highlight a little bit under eyes, give it this triangle kind of, maybe pop up just little bit on the eyes. Also, we can increase on the lips if we're doing like one line. Here, we'll switch X, switch to the dark, and do behind. We can increase, like make lips pop up a little bit better. So there you go, we have it. Adjust, make it darker. Kind of more shadowing almost. Okay, look on her face. Even this small, but it's already create kind of interesting paint alike. And same we want to do on the head. Just increase shadow right there. And I want to do on the head because the lights was from top going like this, and it's just brighter always because it's how we're using lights in a studio, so it's what's happening. Okay, let's also highlight her head, hands, just a little bit, you know. When we're touching, we want to touch up everything. Because it is lock on our model, we don't really worry about do highlights on the background. It just lock to our model. Okay, let's go a little bit out. And with the shadows, it's what I'm doing. But we'll come back in a second to our highlights. So let's press X to switch to the white. And what I'm doing, I'm right here. See, I'm adding highlights. Where's the highlights? So I'm emphasizing some of those highlights. Like right there. See? Okay, let's look. Right there, you can see this dimension. That is before and after. I think it's look better. It's look more dimensional to me. Okay, kind of add those wrinkles. Let's make quite a bit more interesting. Okay, same right here. We can do on her dress, and because we're going like lines, it will even create a little bit more smooth and removing some of those wrinkles. Okay, right there. Right here. Okay, let's zoom out, and you can see it's actually adding same like right there. We can add. If you don't know where to add those highlights and shadows, just look on the how shadows and line going and just create them better, emphasize. Other ways you can also do, if you create a, like Control-Shift-Alt-E. Okay, oops, let me rename this to Global Dodge and Burn. This is another way to do. So we go create new layer. Yes, we clip this, and we're going to the image adjustment. We'll go to black and white. We'll just leave it like this, pop up a little bit on a yellow, her face. Let's click OK. Next, we're going to image adjustment, shadow highlights. In shadow highlights, if you're on simple mode, just click right here, show me more. Then we'll take this amount on 100 on both. We'll take our radius, in this case 11 pixels, so 10 will work as well. And we'll just bring darker, a little bit dark, and a little bit highlight. So it just creating this through the filters, creating more contrast between luminosity levels. So next we're going to filter, sharpen, unsharp mask. And we can see how details add, and we'll switch this to the soft light. Okay, you can see how much it is affecting. We don't necessarily need it, but it's add some details to us. And let's go drop maybe about 20%. I think this will work. Yeah, there you go. So it's how we're selecting. Okay, it does very good job, but if you notice bottom, it's become too dark. So let's go a little bit below our model. We'll click open new layer, and we'll have it another dodge and burn with 50% gray, fill up, but this will be just for all background. So let's switch this to soft light. We'll do X, switch to the black, and I don't want to do all, but I want to add a little bit more shadows here on the floor. And that's what we're doing. We're actually adding, you can see, just a little bit better. We also can switch to white and just put it just behind her head. Highlights a little bit. In this case, we'll just have it kind of very classic old type lighting, you know, when it's created. Actually, I'm not sure if I like this dodge and burn too high, so I'm going to take even lower. But I still have a dodge and burn, so it is, our model feels like she is on the floor with nice, beautiful background set, everything. Well, now let's go and take and bring kind of everything today, encapsulate everything together. And we can do this first by creating a special noise level and a noise layer and level on this noise, because look, her skin is smooth and this is not smooth. So we need to match the grain. For this, we'll go create new layer, fill up this layer with 50% gray. Then we're going to the filter, noise, add noise, and right here we'll just 15, maybe it's too much. Let's go down to the 10. We'll click OK and switch this to the soft light. Okay, notice right here what's happening. We have it properly noise through all image. It's blending a little bit together. If you think it's too much noise, we always can reduce by decreasing our opacity, but now it feels like it's everything belong together. Okay, let's go next. We want to apply to modify some coloring to this. For this, I'm going down and I'll go select the selective colors. In selective colors, we go select the black color. In the black, we'll go to, let's see right here. See, this is our black. We can go with crush black, but usually I don't like it. I like just like -1, 2, just a little bit, but don't go too much because see now our feet is kind of popping up. So we almost want overlay maybe. Yeah, I don't like this, but you know what? Let's go increase this way, and also let's fix that. I just noticed how it's there. Dodge and burn, another one. It will be our global. We switch to soft light. And in this case, I'm just going to select tool and just right there, a little bit like this. And notice what I'm doing, I'm affecting also her dress. So just all environment. Okay, in this case, it's matched a little bit better, and most important, her dress kind of, she does not float in air. It's what I want to do. Okay, and because we're done with the noise, we can put it under noise. It's fine because noise, it's one effect this way. And now we're ready to go back to ours and work here. So let's go put it -1 on this. Okay. Next, what I want to do is take a little bit to the blue color here, a little bit to the green, and cyan. So we'll have it colder in our dark, and our neutral, we want to go opposite. We want to go a little bit warmer. So we'll go like oil painting. And actually, if you notice, the oil painting they did turn a little bit more yellowish, and mostly because they used the linen oil, to cover, protect, and after time it's turned yellowish. It's why most painting will look, and they look yellow to us. In reality, there wasn't that yellow, but to keep it in the same style, we actually want to create a little bit yellowish. So update this. Let's go now on our whites. And white, we can preview. See, right here is her cheeks, which is highlighted. So we'll just add a little bit more there. And same, just add just slightly coloring to this. Maybe bluish offset. I think this is work very well. You can see how now it's become blending together almost everything. Well, we also other things I want to modify. Red. And red is her dress. So actually I want to take darker in a red, and we can see how we can bring closer to a kind of muted or a brighter. It's up to you. I will just bring a little bit closer there, a little bit to the green here, and yellowish. So just overall kind of tone in to have the same coloring going through all of this. Okay, there's kind of our image. There one more suggestion for you. If you want it, you can create black and white layer. And a black and white layer, you can play a little bit more with the lights, adjusting highlights, see like take some darker other elements, and then you can modify if you think its coloring is too much. So you can create even more looking like old painting by reducing saturations on that image. Maybe around right there. Well, I think this is look nice. And of course, our last step we want to do. Put it our name. And I'm putting my name usually so people can find me. Because, you can do this as a copyright, and up to you. You can put it on the middle like this. Technically, usually I put it on the bottom. I don't want make my image look bad, and I just hide a little bit, so for those people who want to find, they can find information, but it does not destroy all how image look in this case. Okay, let's combine everything together, and I'm just all what we edit, I'm just put it in one group. And if we look, that is was before and this is after. You can see how it is very easy and nice created, and with this digital backdrop, so it's creating and make job so much easy. Instead going try find photography in this pack, I just go through this pack. Usually I select it and I select the image that I like it, drag drop, and almost it's a done deal. So it's so easy and nice to create it, and it's now look like all type of the painting. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.